just go like this.
Alright, we're back with more of Layton versus Wright. I just had to get a drink of water because I just did a whole Oscar-winning scene right there. That looks much better. Where are we now? Ah, yes, the victim's arm has now been successfully reattached by one of our masterful craftsmen. Knights of the court, you may resume the Inquisition. At least one thing's clear now. As everyone can see, the victim definitely wasn't holding a knife.
Oh, dearie me. It seems I may have been mistaken after all. When you think about it, the victim had already been turned to gold when we entered the room.
According to the witnesses' testimonies, that was the case, yes.
Well, then I'm sure you'll concede that it was easy to mistake that glittering pointing finger for a knife.
Indeed, the victim's finger has a glint to it resembling that of a sword's edge. Such a sense of power and intensity, it's enough to send a shiver down the spine of anyone being pointed at.
No puzzle is a match for the power of the professor's pointing finger.
I guess no one remembers I'm known for pointing like that, too.
I think your pointing finger makes quite an impression too, Mr. Wright.
She's just taking pity on me. Is that all you had to say, Sir Blue Knight? Huh? As I said before, whether the victim had a knife or not is completely irrelevant. Yeah, what he said. You better apologize to me now. Badger me for no reason like that. Oh my god, I need water. Is that all there is to it, or could that arm hold some other clues?
We've come this far. Maybe there's something else you could ask about.
She's right. I need to ask some more questions. Well then, Mr. Amir, perhaps you could tell me one more thing about that arm. When did you find it? How much did you find it for? Where was it lying? That's the more important one. You found the arm on the floor pointing upwards, you said? Yeah, I did. Finders keepers, I say. It was pointing straight up at the ceiling. The arm somehow happened to fall down in such a way that it landed upright. What are the odds of that? Actually, that reminds me of a puzzle. Now, if you could just show us on this floor plan here. I'd like to know the exact spot where you found the victim's arm. Sure, I remember that well. It was right here. Yes. That's where you would expect it to have fallen. Now, if that's where it was, then something's definitely not right. If you keep looking at that sketch so intensely, you shall burn a hole in it. Or perhaps you're going to claim there's a contradiction in it somewhere. This arm is the final clue left by the professor. Even after turning to gold, he was pointing out something important. Namely, the key to solving this case. Well, Defender, do you see any problems in the locations as marked on the sketch? I'm sure we can find something. Of course there is a problem. Psh, and where would that be precisely? The professor's arm has armed me with some vital evidence. Its location leads to a huge contradiction. In that case, why don't you enlighten us and show us this so-called contradiction? What contradictions does the victim's arm create? Where is it pointing at? It's pointing at this way. All I see is this pointing this way. So like right there? Tick, got it! Or something like that. The contradiction is right here. What you say, Inquisitor Barnum? There's a... oh, for fudge sakes! Son of a biscuit! What the fudge? This thing? Got it. Contradiction is right here. And this is the witch's scepter? Let's go over the order of events as per the witness's testimonies. God dang it! First, the witch cast a spell on the professor, turning him to gold. When all of you rushed to the crime scene, that golden statue fell down, making a loud noise. Next, the witch dropped the scepter. What are you getting at, Sir Blue Knight? All witnesses agree with this order of events. That's right, they all agree that's how it happened, but then there's the arm. Well, what about it? Spit it out. Let's assume that Maya was the witch. Now look at the sketch again. The witch dropped the scepter after having turned the professor into gold. The scepter tumbled along the floor and was found here as asserted by the prosecution. However, that would be impossible. There's no way it could have been there. Oh, I see it now. The arm, it was... I'm glad you seem to have noticed. The victim's arm was on the floor right here, standing on its end. Therefore, the scepter couldn't possibly have fallen that way. Ergo, it couldn't have been the defendant who dropped the scepter. In other words, Maya is not a witch! Ugh. Take that, you bum! That's probably not over after that. That was way too easy. Order, order, order! How can this be? The Inquisition's reasoning has been proven invalid through just one single piece of unusual evidence. Call it Layton's magical touch. The professor sacrificed his arm to leave us that just the evidence needed to turn this thing around.
It was amazing, Mr. Wright. Professor.
Objection!
An admirable deduction, Sir Blue Knight, that I cannot deny. Even if we are to assume your reasoning is correct and that girl in the cage is not a witch. Even if? In the many trials I've attended, I have become well versed in certain aspects of magic. I am all too aware of its potential to confuse people, befuddle their minds, and make their memories hazy. No one can resist such a maddening influence. What are you trying to say, Inquisitor? The scepter could not have tumbled across the floor if the arm were in its way. However, can we be sure that it's where the arm was? Are all the witnesses able to confirm its location at the time?
Objection!
We've heard that they had to say several times now. They agree that the scepter fell after the victim fell over. And yet no one actually saw the scepter being dropped. Witnesses, think back to that incident once more. Did the golden statue fall over first, or did the staff fall before it? Think carefully about what you've seen and heard. Everything hinges on your testimonies. May your words guide us to the truth and decide the fate of this caged witch. I was about to get ready to leave, but it seems there's need for further questioning. Testify once more, witnesses. Tell us of the golden statue and the Talia Magica. Alright.
I was only focusing on the professor, so I don't remember much else.
I don't know, I got there last. Besides, that thing was glittering away, so I couldn't see much else.
Dear me, I remember how obvious it seems now. The staff was dropped before the statue fell over.
Whoa, wait a minute. What you all said just now is totally different from your previous testimonies. Sir Blue Knight, you are starting to notice that now, aren't you? That is the way of magic, such is the effect this black art tends to have upon those who witness it. The witnesses are not lying, but simply having trouble remembering the truth. What a convenient excuse. Confronted with magic, their brains starting to mush, huh? Ever since our ancestors drank from the fountains of wisdom and obtained the capacity for reason, witchcraft has been the one thing to remain incomprehensible, even to the most intelligent of us. Nevertheless, the honest is honest to stand up against magic and pass judgment on this witch. What? And so here we are doing battle with the weapons of the wise. Words. With words we shall pass judgment upon this supposed witch. Defender, you may begin your interrogation and help us arrive at the truth. Alright. Here we go. Luke, you said before that you heard the scepter fall to the floor, and that was after the professor fell over.
I thought so. I thought so before, but now, the more I think about it, the less certain I am that I actually heard it. How could I have been paying attention to anything else when the professor was... my memories of everything else are too fuzzy.
I guess Luke was too shocked to take in his surroundings and notice anything else. I doubt I'll get any more information out of him for now. I'm sorry, Luke. I understand how hard this is for you. Let's move on to the next witness. Alright, I really don't want to do his voice right now. My voice is kind of starting to hurt, so let's just do this guy. I don't even know if this guy has anything relevant. Would you mind translating your song into plain speech? I shall simplify it once more just for you, esteemed knight of the court. First of all, let's talk about love. It's a pretty neat slant rhyme. For cove, a cove is slave for chap. Someone freaked out just now. And it was you. And god dang it, I have to talk out his voice anyway. Hang on! Mr. Amir, you seem to be pondering something very deeply. Wah! You caught me unawares there, Bluey. Did something in Mr. Burley's statement catch your attention just now? No, nothing in particular. I was just thinking. That bard song really got to me. It really kind of fell into me heart. I appreciate your appreciation of my art. You know, I meant to ask you something. Why don't you become me private bard? You can sing all about the heroic life of Mimir, Punch and Bog the First.
I could gladly sing of your adventures if it pleases you, kind sir.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want. Show me what you got. Very well, as per your request. Alright. Not singing. Not singing.
I heard my song was to your liking, sir.
Ah, very poetic. So we've learned nothing useful at all, just that Amir has questionable taste in music. I knew he wasn't going to be very relevant. Sometimes it is best not to probe too much deeply, Sir Blue Knight. Well then, let us just pretend we heard none of that and proceed with the interrogation. God, seriously.
Hold it!
But you haven't said anything about that until now.
Well, that couldn't have been helped.
How so?
Now, everyone, listen well. Pencils in hands, be sure to take notes. Miss Primstone's lesson number 4. Memories are not always pretty. Some things are...
Okay, this is... No, this is not taking us anywhere.
Objection!
That's gonna... Okay. It might, actually. Quick to forget what I've told you. Witnesses are not... Oh, okay, they're just rambling on about the witnesses. So I did miss something. What the... Ah, do I really have to question the beer guy? Son of a... The only one that I didn't choose to question. God dang it.
Hold it!
And that thing would be... the arm of that shiny jet next to you, Bluey. 1 second. Okay, there we go. Press labor, we're dying than ever before. And you didn't notice the scepter on the floor? You know, I wasn't even looking at the floor. My eyes are kind of glued to me no source of income. If anything, I may have looked up at the ceiling once since that where it was pointing. Finders keepers, eh? Into me pocket it went. Someone arrest this guy, please. Alright, well... I've already done all this. First of all... Okay. Is that his regular face? Then we have the Road Witch and its homophone witch. Oh, right. Next we have the delightful concert of Beloved and Bewitched. It is ultimately a song about confusion. I'm confused. To be honest, there's nothing more to it. It's merely an artistic expression of my feelings. So it's not got nothing to do with this case, does it? I am a well of melodious words and poetic music. That is my only claim. Ah! Oh, dearie, dearie me! Uh-oh. There we go, we got something. Hang on! Luke, would you like to say something?
Oh, sorry, I guess I spaced out a bit. What is it, Mr. Wright?
You seem to be thinking pretty hard about something during Mr. Burley's song, or testimony just now. Is there something you would like to share with us?
Well, I've been thinking about what Mr. Barnum said a while ago.
What was that exactly?
That humans who witness magic become confused and lose sight of what's real, and they end up not knowing what actually happened. Well, I was thinking Mr. Barnum might be right. And then it occurred to me that there might be a way. I mean, we do have with us a witness who isn't human.
Oh no.
Oh, dearie, dearie me.
This situation seems oddly familiar.
I asked him earlier if he remembers the events clearly or not. He said he was a memory better than an elephant and remembers everything perfectly well.
Oh, that's right. I almost forgot. Luke can talk to animals.
Mr. Wright, I know it sounds crazy, but please let me try. Let me ask Cracker to testify. Oh, dearie, dearie me.
Should I? I'm stuck now anyway, and the witnesses' testimonies are all over the place. A new testimony would be a wild card, but it might be just the thing to turn this trial on its head. But it's a crazy idea, alright. If I make a mistake now, it'll put me in a tight spot. Defender, are you still with us? This is not the time nor place for daydreaming. What do you intend to do? It looks as though you've exhausted all means for a counterattack, Sir Knight in Blue. Is it not time you drop your sword? If you have no further questions for the witnesses, Defender, I will consider your interrogation finished. What will it be then? Are we finished here? I've got zero time to think it over. Better make a choice now. Should I summon the parrot as a witness? Sure, why not? Because YOLO. Oh god, I need to shut up now. I'm never going to say that again on this channel, probably. Your Honor, the defense would like to summon a new witness. A new witness, you say? Who do you have in mind? It's a witness you all know by the name of Mr. Cracker. Alright, we're gonna see how this is gonna turn out. It's gonna be a mess. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.